Hi, my name is Julie. I'm presenting my project over a creative writing workshop for older adults in the San Marcos area to combat age-related memory loss. The situation that prompted my idea for this project was whenever I was in a meeting with Dr. Chi. She's a staff member at Texas State. She is the director of the Dementia and Aging graduate program. So I was meeting with her, just trying to get ideas on how to use my three minors, sociology, social work, and writing, how to use those three minors in a project that dealt with older adults, since that's the population that I want to work with after I get out of school. She was telling me that she's doing a research project over creative storytelling in older adults who have dementia and how that affects their day-to-day life and memory and mood. And she has gone over a lot of research showing that writing helps memory, and that could have been a really good topic for me, and kind of went with all three of my minors. And she directed me to Clay DiStefano, who is the executive director of the Price Center. The Price Center is a community center in San Marcos, and it has an affiliation with the Senior Association, so most of its members are considered seniors. He explained the need for my project. So once I had this idea and I took it to him, he was like, that's actually really amazing because we have a really big need for events that have to do with writing. So they have a lot of events for the members. They pay dues so they can go to the events for free. But none of their events had to do with writing. That's a lot of art-based events, painting, sculpting, and then they have quilting and dance and stuff. But he said that can really take some people out if they're not that physically active, or if they're male and they might not want to sew, and some of those events don't really tailor to the male population there. So having a writing event would really be more cohesive and draw in hopefully more members, and then make it a more well-rounded center. So in the research portion of my paper, I was reading an article titled "What We Need to Know About Age-Related Memory Loss" by Gary Small, and he was going over the statistics for just regular age-related memory loss and then for dementia. So it's approximated that 40% of people older than 65 will suffer from regular memory impairments. Then 1% of people who suffer from regular memory impairments will get mild cognitive impairment, and that's it can either be on the way to dementia, or maybe that's the farthest they're gonna go. But in this type of memory loss, they experience problems with recollection, communication, thinking, and then judgment, but they don't have any functional impairments. And then 10% of people who get mild cognitive impairments are going to develop Alzheimer's or dementia. And that's when they start to have the functional impairments, where eventually, since it is a degenerative disease with no cure, they won't be able to really live by themselves. They will need care for that. In another part of my research paper, I was looking up the differences in regular art therapy and writing therapy and that effect on memory. And I was reading a study, and the results where they were comparing, and they did a control group, an art therapy group, and then a writing therapy group, and they were comparing the results to long-term benefits. And art therapy had no long-term benefits, whereas writing therapy showed long-term benefits on mental health and stress levels. And in another part of my research paper, I looked up how mental health and stress can have long-term effects on memory. And basically, the worse your mental health is and the more stressed you are, the more likely it is that you're going to experience memory loss as you age. So if writing helps long-term to lessen the effects, then in turn, it would also help with prolonging memory. And it can also help with offsetting the symptoms of degenerative brain disorders like dementia and Alzheimer's by being like a cognitive workout. So they're keeping the mind really fit, and that helps to keep it fit longer, even though eventually it will still break down, but it helps to delay the mental impairments that come with degenerative brain disorders. The format that I chose is workshops, and I'm doing 3 different workshops. Each workshop goes over a different aspect of writing. In the first workshop, I go over poems, and I'm also doing an intro to why writing is good for their cognitive health in the long run, and I show some statistics on that. In the second workshop, I go over short stories. I give some examples, and then in the third workshop, I do non-conventional forms of creative writing, which I included remnants writing and journaling. So these are ways that they're not as structured as maybe poems and short stories are, but they still have a lot of benefits. And then also in this workshop, I go over in more detail the benefits of each different type of writing on the mental health, and then going into the mental health and how that can help with long-term memory. And then for my minors, incorporating that into my project for sociology, I was using continuity theory. So that basically says that as an individual ages, that they, in order to age successfully, they need to stay active in similar activities throughout their life. They don't have to do the exact same things. Like if right now I'm writing research papers and doing all this schoolwork, I don't have to continue to do that, but continuing to write would still benefit and keep me doing something that is similar to how it's been since I've been alive. For social work, I'm doing social learning theory. So in my workshops, I do have a lot of time where the participants are able to get together and share their stories and then receive feedback. And then also in one of the workshops, we do group work. So that way they're really learning and observing the people in their environment. And the social learning theory says that people learn better from observing and experiencing their environment and their surroundings. So in having them really gain bonds with the people in the workshop, then that's going to help them learn. And then for writing, I did the poetry and storytelling, but I also did different aspects that go into the writing, such as metaphors, similes, and imagery, and really going over those because they can be used in all of the different types of writing. My goal of my project is to teach the importance of writing on cognitive health for older adults, and also in the workshops themselves, I wanted to make sure that I was making them to where the participants were going to get a good foundational understanding for the different types of writing that I was going over, and they were also going to get some really good tips because a lot of these people may not be writing for fun, so incorporating that into their daily lives is going to be hard. So doing tips for example, with journaling, some of my tips were to carry your journal around everywhere with you, so that way whenever you do want to write, you already have it right there. And also you can make it a thing where you do it at the same time every day, maybe right when you wake up or right before you go to bed, so that way you kind of get that into your routine. And then if I had more time with this project, I think I would have interviewed the people at the Price Center. That way I could have maybe made my presentation more tailored to their experiences and needs. Since the coronavirus, I wasn't able to go in like I had originally wanted to do and interview them because I was thinking that I could get information about their education level and like life experiences, so I could tailor my examples to life experiences and then tailor my workshop to the education level. So since I didn't have that information, I made it a little more broad and really went over the very foundational things, and then also went into some more complex things after I went over the foundation. And then some things that I learned from my workshop was definitely coming out of my undergraduate degree. It was really weird for me to talk with Clay DeStefano, the director of the Price Center, like speak to him as an equal, because I am going to do this workshop after COVID-19 is over and it's safe for them to really come out and do this group event. But it was really weird for him to be needing stuff from me and it not to be for like a school project. Like this is a school project, but I'm also actually doing this one. So I really felt like I was like contributor in the Price Center and really making something worthwhile with this event. And then also time management and research skills, because it was really hard for me originally to like start in with the research. I've written research papers before, but normally I was looking for the answers. So whenever I already had an answer and I was looking for research to back up what Dr. Chi had told me, so it was a little bit different than I've done research in the past, so that was a little bit hard for me. And then time management was this was just a long assignment, and I really got good at writing a little bit every day. That way I wasn't having to bust out 10 pages all at once. But overall, I am really proud of the work that I did, and I think that whenever I do get to do this at the Price Center, I'm going to be really proud, and hopefully it all goes very well. But I hope everyone has a great rest of your semester, and bye. Good luck.